Hey there, posture guys and gals, and welcome back to the show. As always, I'm your host, Justin Archer, aka the Posture Guy, your #1 source on pain, posture, and performance. And let me begin by saying that if it looks like I'm kind of orangish or like I got a bad fake spray-on tan or something, I did not, in fact. I'm just in a room with very little lighting and trying to work it out. I got some home lights off to the side, a night light over here, bouncing off one of my wife's photography reflectors, so hopefully it doesn't look too bad, but if it does, forgive me, and next week I'll get back into a better lit room. All right? Anyways, what I want to talk to you about today is several things that may be holding you back from enjoying a pain-free life. Because a lot of times people will email me, they found some of my posts for maybe scoliosis or sciatica or knee pain or whatever it might be. And they do the exercises and they get some benefit, but they don't get all the way where they want to be, and they're wondering, okay, what else can I do, or what's missing here? And there's a couple things, and this video is going to be great for my clients that I'm working with one-on-one, whether it be over Skype or online, but also for people who maybe I'm not working with or working with yet, but you're utilizing the free content on the site. Do keep in mind though that the exercise routines that I create on the post, they are going to work for most people most of the time. So for example, the lower back pain exercises, I've picked out those exercises out of a library of 600 plus exercises, sequenced them in a certain order, because those exercises correct the usual postural dysfunctions and or compensations that usually occur with people with lower back pain. All right. So #1, it could just be that you're not doing the right exercise and that you need more of a customized exercise routine for your unique posture and symptoms and overall condition. So that may be it right there. It could be something very simple. But there's some other things that even if you're doing the right exercises that you may be doing, you may not know that you're doing, that could be interfering with your progress, or like I said, holding you back from success and enjoying a pain-free life. So I want to go over those now, and to make sure I didn't forget any, I jotted them down here. So #1 is just not doing your exercise routine daily. Now, a lot of people go, well, come on, like really, that's it? And you would think, right, especially people who work with me, right, they pay me hundreds or thousands of dollars over the span of 2 or more months, that they would, take the recommendations that I give them very seriously and do them. But there's a lot of reasons, and this could be a post within itself, and I definitely will do one in the future about this, about why people don't do, the exercises. And there's some legitimate reasons. We all get busy, life happens, I understand. And if you miss a day or here or there, once a week or once or twice a month, it's no big deal. But if you miss 2, 3, 4 consecutive days, then it's not realistic to expect to make progress. You want to be doing it every day. You want to treat these exercises like brushing your teeth. All right, so that's #1, is just do your exercises every day. You'll see a huge, significant increase in your progress. #2 is using bad form when doing exercises. So maybe you've been doing the exercises, again, whether you're working with me one-on-one or whether you're doing some of the exercises from some of the free content, the exercise routines that I've given out, but you're doing them wrong. So for example, maybe I told you to do an exercise, and I watched you do it over Skype one week, and you did it, you came out and you said, wow, that feels great, I feel much better. Next week, check in with you, and I don't feel so good. Well, what happened in between there? And I said, okay, well, show me that exercise, that new one that we added last week. And you show it to me, and instead of, okay, you're laying on your back, you got that right, but instead of your palms being face down, your palms are face up. And instead of twisting your lower body to the left, you twisted it to the right. And instead of pushing your knee out, you pulled your knee in. Could that have something to do with it? Yes. So you don't want to just go through the motions here. The reason that I took the time to make the videos and the video tutorials for each exercise is to make sure that you're doing the exercise to the best of your ability. And if you can't or you need some help modifying it, call or email me and I'd be more than happy to help. All right, that goes for my clients, but also if you're using an exercise routine, you say, I understand what you're getting at here, Justin, but I just can't do that right now. Do you have any other suggestions? Please don't hesitate to contact me. All right. #3, I think this is #3, is excessive mental and or emotional stress. So, this is something, maybe you have a lot going on at work, or maybe your dog just passed away, or, maybe your parent and your high school student, son or daughter is going off to college. These are all things that create a lot of stress. Maybe you're moving, renovating, I don't know. Any of those things, though, can put a lot of stress on you mentally and emotionally, and that can manifest itself physically. All right, and I put a link down below, not only for this aspect, this reason for why you may not be getting better, but any other reasons that I can think that I've talked about in the past, I've linked to down below with some posts or some videos that I've done on these topics. All right, so that's a biggie right there, is mental and emotional stress. It comes back physically, and then it kind of creates this vicious cycle of poor, or mental emotional stress, poor posture, and then it just starts going around and around and around. All right, so, and there's a couple ways that a couple things you can do to combat that and relax, and get back to a more calmer state where you're not so tense, because we all know that, right? If you have neck and shoulder pain and it already hurts, then you get stressed out, everything tightens up that much more, and those trigger points go off, and you just hurt that much more. All right, so stressing out doesn't do you any good. Which actually kind of feeds into this one, which is a lot of people, I would say a common denominator I see amongst all my clients, no matter what symptom they're coming in with, neck, shoulder, hip, knee, whatever, is that they're breathing from the chest and the neck and the shoulders rather than the diaphragm. So when they breathe, they're... And now that would be fine if you're sprinting away from a bear or a tiger, but you should be engaging and breathing with your diaphragm, which I know the camera's set a little high so I can't show you this, but your midsection down here below your rib cage, all right? That's your main breathing muscle. These are really only used for if you're running really fast, really hard. They shouldn't be working if you're just staying still or having a conversation with someone, okay? And just think about it. The average human takes about 22,000 breaths per day. So imagine if you have a stiff neck, all right, and you're doing breaths like this 22,000 times per day. Well, that's 22,000 tiny shoulder shrugs you're doing, and you're encouraging that tightness, right? You're feeding it because you're doing this movement, and those muscles have to contract to lift the shoulders up. Well, no wonder you're tight, all right? So a key is getting that diaphragm to turn back on, and I've linked to a post down below which will help you, teach you how to do that. Let's see, not drinking enough water. This is huge, and it's something so simple, but everybody really takes it for granted. They go, oh yeah, drinking water, I know I should drink more. And a lot of times I ask people, well, how much do you drink? And they say, oh, I drink a lot. I'm like, I need a little bit more than that. How much is a lot? Like, give me, ounces, or whatever the metric is. I'm terrible with that. But here's a good thing to shoot for. You want to drink a minimum of half your body weight in ounces of water per day. So just take whatever you weigh, divide it in half, and then drink that over the, let's say out of 24 hours, you're awake for 16 of it, over 16 hours. For most people, unless you're very, very, large, it's going to be about 4 ounces per half an hour, which is like 2 gulps of water. So if you spread it out, it's not that bad. It's 30 minutes, gulp, gulp. Next 30 minutes, gulp, gulp. You can set a timer on your watch or your cell phone or something. There's apps for it, like Waterlogged and iTunes. I'm sure there's something like it on Android that'll help you keep track of your water intake. But water is huge. We use it for so many processes in our body, and especially muscle contraction. Literally, every time you contract a muscle, even doing this, that's using water right there. Me talking, water. Everything, water, water, water. So, and another way to think of it is, us as humans, we're meat, right? Muscles. Well, what is dried out muscle? It's beef jerky, right? Well, you ever try to stretch beef jerky? It doesn't really work, right? It's tight, it's knotty, and if anything, if you do try to stretch it, then it tears. Well, we don't want your body to be like beef jerky. We want it to be like filet mignon, just nice and supple, and everything moves when you push or pull on it. Well, that's why you need to be properly hydrated. And if you understand that half your body weight in ounces of water per day is bare minimum, okay? If you work out or you have a physically active job, you do construction or something, or you partake in some extracurricular activities, if you're in school, sports, things like that, you probably want to be shooting for 1 gallon to 1.5 gallons, and especially if you work out 3, 4, 5 times a week, yeah, probably more like 1 gallon, 1.5 gallons. All right. So hydration, no joke. Seriously, if you're dehydrated, which most people are, it's going to keep you from making the progress you want. And then definitely a close second to that, if not first, is eating a diet high in sugars, carbs, gluten, MSGs, and or mycotoxins. And I did a post about this before, that if you're eating a diet like a standard American diet with all those things in it, it's going to put your body in a constant state of inflammation. So you can have inflammation for a biomechanical reason. For instance, if one shoulder is higher than the other and you're moving your arms and stuff around, well, obviously there is a structural problem, right? And maybe a bone is rubbing into another bone and you have inflammation. Well, that's bad enough, and you're trying to fix that with the exercises. But let's say you're eating, a lot of things that come in boxes, and a lot of dairy and bread and wheat and things like that, filled with all this junk, or for lack of better terms, crap, right? That's going to put your body biochemically in a state of inflammation. So structurally, you have inflammation going on, and then biochemically, you have inflammation going on, and it just piles on top of each other. So again, I did a post about this a couple months ago about an anti-inflammatory diet, so I'll link to that down below, and you can check that out. But that helps a lot. And on top of that, it could help you lose weight, build muscle, have more energy, especially cognitively. It's awesome, and let's see, sitting too much, I think we all know nowadays, sitting is the new smoking. So, sitting, it's just terrible for you. They've actually done studies now that show that for every hour you sit, a certain amount of life expectancy taken off of your life. It's bad for your joints. It, shortens certain muscles, the flexors on the front of you, and kind of weakens the muscles in the back of you. But if you just sit for long periods of time, your back is going to round forward, shoulders come forward, head comes forward, and your metabolism just downregulates. Your internal organs don't work as well as they should. Your lymph system, because you're not moving in the chair, shuts down, which, if you don't know, the lymph system is used to get rid of toxins out of your body. And the only way that it pumps, because it doesn't have a pump like your circulatory system has your heart, it doesn't have a pump, so the only way that it gets stuff out is through movement. And when you sit and you don't move, the toxins just sit there in your body and they seep back into your bloodstream, and you're basically poisoning yourself to death. So that's why, for example, the reason I'm doing this video post in this room, although it's not that well lit up, whatever the word is, is because I'm at my standing desk. Or I say standing desk, it's literally just some dresser drawers, but for me it's about shoulder height, and I can have my laptop here, and I feel way, way better when I work from a standing position than I do in a seated position. So try that out, try to stand more, or if you do have to sit, try to take breaks and walk around or do some of the exercises that you find on the website. All right, and last but certainly not least, is not getting enough sleep. And this is one that I can say that from time to time I struggle with. A lot of us nowadays are getting by, and they say, you say, all I need is like 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, that may be true, but that's, again, getting by. I don't know about you, but I'm not interested in getting by. I want to have optimal health. I want to be the best version of me possible. And for that, you need more like 7 or 8. If you're a teenager and you're watching this, you probably need 8, 9. In some cases, if you're in sports, like football players doing two-a-day practices, you might need as much as 10. But as an adult, male or female, you need at least 7, preferably 8. And you want to make sure that you're sleeping in the best position possible, which is usually on your back with a little support under your knees. And I made a post months ago about this, which again I'll link to down below, and you can check that out. But getting enough sleep, because that's when your body heals, right? Exercise is a catabolic movement or exercise. It tears your body down. It's through the repair process that we get stronger. So that whether you're doing bench presses, you're trying to increase your 40-meter dash, or you're trying to strengthen muscles to improve your posture and get out of pain, all that, it's when you're resting that these muscles get stronger. So you want to make sure that you're getting enough rest and enough quality of rest, and that has to do with sleeping in the right position. So I think there was 8 total there, that we went over. I might have missed some or not thought of some. If you can think of some that you're struggling with, let me know in the comment section below, and I'd be more than happy to address those in the comment section, or possibly put together a post for that reason independently. All right, but seriously, these are all ones that I've seen over the years working with people that potentially are holding people back from getting the relief that they deserve and that they want, So take them all very seriously. Look at the posts linked to down below for further information on each one. And if you have any questions along the way, feel free to give me a call or email. All right? Anyways, thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you inside the next video. Until then, take care and keep moving.